Hey everyone, this is Shivam again, and in the last video I shared the first workflow that we made at Floqer, and since then in 2 weeks we have made many more new workflows and exciting features that I'll be sharing in this video. So let's do a quick recap. In this video I shared this workflow that accepts LinkedIn URL as an input, and based on this LinkedIn URL we find the work email from a bunch of sources like Prospeo and Find Email, and again all these subscriptions are included with Floqer. We have a bulk deal with these vendors and we pass down the discount to the users. And then we have a scrape LinkedIn profile that pretty much fetch the data from LinkedIn profile of the URL given. And then we have OpenAI step that essentially generate email based on the data that's being collected. So all the data that's coming from the past steps can be viewed here. Some of the users also like to provide some examples to match their tone. And then we have an enable option for review. So essentially the workflow will stop here and ask you to review the email before you move it on. And a lot of people don't want to trust AI fully, so that's why they enable it. And I'll show you that in a second as well. And then we have subject, which is similar to email step. And then finally, it's the instantly step that you can connect and send your created emails to instantly. So on top here, you can see there is run tab that shows analytical view of how the prospect is moving from each step. And then we have table, which shows an in-depth view of data. So you can see what email you found, and we can also see the LinkedIn data that we collected for each prospect. And then we have email created. So you can see that some of the emails are ready to be reviewed. So if I go here, I can check the email, and if I'm happy with that, I can move it on to the next step. Otherwise, I can regenerate it. So that was something I showed in the last video. And if you want to see an in-depth version, I'll put the link in the description. Okay, now let's say I sell my product to public companies, and I'm trying to figure my product positioning based on the risks these public companies have mentioned in the recent 10K docs that were published in the last SEC filing. So this sales process will require me to read through these lengthy 10K documents and map the risks to my product value proposition to come up with a sales message for each company. But this workflow can help me do that. So let's give it a quick shot. So I'll name this 10K doc list 1. And as you can see, this workflow has 3 steps. One that's taking the ticker symbol as an input. Then this ticker symbol is passed to the next step, which is fetching the SEC records from the government website. And then we have the prompt for OpenAI, and the data that I'm using here is just risk factors. And all my data coming from 10K docs is also available here. So you can see business section, risks, and so on. So you can use as you like, but I'll just need risks for my case here. So let's publish this, and I'll give it a quick shot with let's say Palantir. Let's do CRM, which is Salesforce, and let's do Microsoft as well. So it's loading now, and I'll pause the video while it loads, and I'll come back. All right, so I can see all my data is fetched now. I can see 10K docs are also scraped from the SEC website, and OpenAI has also summarized this data based on my prompt. So I can now quickly read through this summary and create a sales message that's targeting to solve these risks for these businesses. This is good, but now let's say I want to go a step further. Let's say I don't even know what my prompt is going to be, and I just want to find insights from all the data that I'm collecting across all companies, or just maybe one company. So let's say I want to talk to Microsoft and find insights. I can do that using our chat feature. So I selected Microsoft, and let's create a chat for Microsoft. Microsoft chat with okay. It's gonna create a chat GPT version for Microsoft specific data that I've collected in this workflow. So let's say I have what risks Microsoft faces with cloud operations, and how can I solve it? So it gave me a lot of insights now. So Microsoft faces various risks with cloud operations, um, and so on and so forth. So I can really dive deeper into the data of Microsoft and find insights and really position my sales strategy across it. So that was it for 10K docs. Let's say I want to go even a step further. Let's say I want to do some company research and then find right key stakeholders and then reach out to them. I can do that using this other workflow. So let's give it a shot. 10K analysis with outreach. So in this flow, the inputs are company URL and ticker symbol. The workflow first does some company research, for example, finding the 10K documents, and we can also add more steps like adding company website scraping or company LinkedIn scraping. And after that, we can find right key stakeholders. So let's say in my case, I want to reach out to director, and let's say I want to limit it to just 3 for the test. And I can also choose all the parameters that I would choose in Apollo, but I can add it here. So let's say I save it, and then I'm just splitting that section, which I'll show you in a minute as well. And then this workflow will find the work email, scrape the LinkedIn for each person, generate email for each person, and send it via Instantly campaign. So let me just choose dev test 1 here. All right, so I'm just gonna publish that, and this time I'm gonna upload a CSV. So let's say I have a CSV here. I can just quickly map it. All right, so it's loading now. It'll first find the 10K documents, analyze risks, and then find the key stakeholders based on my parameters, and then it'll find employees and then run the flow for employees. So I'll pause the video here and come back once it's ready. All right, so I can see all my data is collected now. I can see 10K docs are fetched for CRM, and OpenAI has analyzed risks, and Apollo here has found 3 employees for me because I limited that to 3. And to go from company to employees, I can just toggle the section on the top, and it's gonna show me all the LinkedIn URLs that Apollo collected and the work emails that we found for each employee, so each director. And then it scraped the LinkedIn profile for each one of them and then created email for them. I can tweak it, change it the way I like. So as you can see, you can really automate most of your GTM process at Floqer. And if you're using a tool like Clay today, you might have noticed that it's really hard to build something as complex as this, because you might have to connect different tables to go from companies to employees. And that probably require a lot more technical skills. But Floqer is simple and it doesn't need any technical skill. On top of that, for revenue operational leaders, this is the only tool that can pull in data from many different sources, also the private sources, and you can just have a conversation with your data to find insights, which might be useful when you're doing account-based planning. And we're still new and we're building custom flows for our customers. So if you think this can be useful, shoot me a DM and I'd love to chat on how we can scale your GTM. Thanks. Talk soon. Bye.